Listen, we talking about practice. Not a game, not a game.
If you're looking for the best basketball talk in the universe, you just found it. This is Deep Hoops, where fans are the host. Tim Brayboy, Troy Ramel Royal, and me, your point guard, Jehudi. We're talking basketball, all basketball, and nothing but basketball. So sit back and enjoy the best basketball talk in the podcast universe. This is Deep Hoops.
And we are here with another Deep Hoops. When's the last time we did a Deep Hoops regular episode?
It's been a minute.
It's been a while.
It's been a minute, huh?
Yeah.
But this is the playoff edition of Deep Hoops.
NBA Finals.
NBA Finals edition. Word, right. NBA Finals edition of Deep Hoops. I am the minister.
I am Tim.
And I'm Rob.
The straw.
The straw that stirs the drink.
Mr. Controversy. Go ahead, throw me the towels, man. They don't mind, man. Come on, we keeping this real over here. They know I'm sweating. I've been drinking, man.
Ooh, boy. Yeah. It's a little sweaty. Sweat.
Sponsored by Beck's. Beck's Beer. All right, so we just finished watching the second game of the NBA Finals. Give us your recap. Even though we did a Facebook Live, give us your recap, Rob.
It's going according to what I expected. I said before the game started, I thought that Golden State would win by 20 to 25 points. They won by 19. I think that Game 1 loss was a deflating loss, and I don't see Cleveland recovering from it. I actually think that Reynolds has entered the building, and this is a wrap. It'll be done in 4.
Tim?
If I'm Cleveland, I'm feeling pretty good. Golden State did what they were supposed to do. They were supposed to win. They were a double-digit.
What do they say? The playoffs don't start until the home team
loses. Right. They were a double-digit favorite, 11.5 point favorite in games 1 and 2. So if I'm Cleveland, I'm like, okay, they hit us with their best punch. I don't think Golden State could play any better. They got 12 points, 8 rebounds, couple blocks from JaVale McGee. They got 33 and 9 threes from Steph Curry. They got Durant shooting where he was effective in this game. They got everything you would think they would get at home. On the other hand, Cleveland only got 5 points from J.R. Smith. They did get a good game from George Hill. They got
and
15,
Kevin Love.
And they got what you're supposed to get from Kevin Love.
They got
a good game because listen to what I'm saying. They got Love is their second best player, so I would expect him to get.
But they got what they were supposed to get.
17 to 22 from
Kevin
Kevin
20
Love.
some. What did he have?
Yeah, 20 plus points and 10 plus rebounds.
Right. So I would expect them to get that. Now,
LeBron didn't come. We didn't get what we needed out of LeBron
because Cleveland's formula is for them to win is LeBron get 35 plus in effective field goals, and Kevin Love or Jeff Green or somebody to get 17 to 22, and then somebody else to get 14 and somebody else to get 12. That's how they win.
Well, they have 4 players in double figures.
But LeBron didn't have that 35.
So my question to you is this, because you continue to say that Golden State can't play no better. Are you telling me Cleveland can play better?
I think LeBron didn't play. He was effective, but he wasn't
can you
great.
get everything that you got out of everyone else? But I can answer that. They're going home. They're going to get at least that out of everybody that contributed what they did on the road.
I don't think Cleveland can play any better than what we've seen, and I think Golden State.
All right. So let me ask it this way.
Sure.
Can LeBron play better?
Play better.
Let him answer.
I think LeBron could be more aggressive.
Okay.
Yeah.
So LeBron could play better.
But now here's the thing. LeBron being more aggressive, playing better, does that take away from some of what
that's
we
a
saw?
good point. That's a good point from some of the others.
From the others.
I just think that LeBron gave us less than 30. Tim said, I think, what did he have, 29? So he
35.
was 6 points away from what he needs to be for them to be even more impactful. So you give him 35, and then you give the others what they gave you, and maybe one more contributor because they're going home. The secondary players play better on at home than they do on the road. Now, you're going to see a decline possibly in what Golden State gives you unless Iguodala comes back. If Iguodala comes back, and that's going to be a topic, if Iguodala comes back, then that's going to wash whatever the others give you on Golden State. I mean, on Cleveland.
Well, I see your point, and I get that. I think that in order for Cleveland to win a game, LeBron has to shoot the ball 30-plus times.
He shot 19 for 32 in the game one, with the game they should have won.
How many shots
He
did
was
he have
10
this
for
time?
20 tonight. To
He-
me, that's not aggressive.
That's not enough.
I mean, and the thing about it, when he's aggressive, you get double teams, you get switches, you get people in foul trouble. The three-point looks become easier. They're more open. Everything just
and
works
J.R.
better.
Smith didn't give us anything.
Right, he
Well,
only had 5 points.
Actually, yeah, he did hit a couple of shots. Yeah, that's all he hit. Yeah, 5 points.
So,
I think that
but he didn't give us what he gave us in game one.
right, which was the biggest gaffe in the history of the NBA.
Come on, man.
I-
We got to talk about that real quick. Hold on. We got to talk about that real quick. What did you say when you saw that?
I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, can somebody call a timeout? Can they tackle the ref to call a timeout? What are you doing? I think if it wouldn't have been so bad if after the game he would have been like, look, it happens.
I made a mistake.
I made a mistake, and then
He said he knew what was going
right.
on.
If he would have said I made a mistake,
I
owned up to it. That's what made it bad.
But he trumped. He did a Donald Trump.
Yes, he did. He was a big Republican. on
Oh,
that
man,
one.
he was conservative
Yeah,
on that.
he was
Fox
conservative.
News on that.
Yeah, he was Fox News on that.
bailed
Fake
out.
news. Fake news.
He bailed out Kevin Durant.
Yeah. I think.
Kevin Durant. He
bailed out George Hill.
George Hill.
Yeah. And with Kevin Durant, first of all, if you recall the play, J.R. Smith wasn't even looking at the basket. He was on the on the line. The basket is here. He's looking this way, talking to someone. George Hill makes the shot, and he just turns around. Kevin Durant never attempted to box him out. He took it as it went in. And the ball just fell in J.R.
Smith, yeah.
But it's
And
interesting.
then he runs out. And I'm going to tell you something. If LeBron didn't stop him, he would have ran for a backcourt
yeah, right. They were there.
because he was headed to the tunnel.
It's interesting to see if now,
Thought it was Fisher after he made the shot.
point 4.
Right, Derek Fisher.
Yeah, it would be interesting because when they did the 2-minute review, you know it was a lane violation on Draymond Green.
So they said.
So it was a lane violation on Draymond Green. Now, what I didn't like is when they called a block charge. It was definitely, and I'm not going to tell you it was a charge, it was definitely a block on LeBron.
Go ahead to that because I have another. I'm
It
going
was
to change the
definitely
topics.
a block on LeBron. But I don't like if you called it a charge on the
Then
floor.
it's gotta be a charge.
It's got to be a charge. You can't
Then,
look.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. You call it a charge, and then another referee call it a block. You get together in a huddle, and you make the determination. When you go to the videotape, like Warner Wolf, I mean, it's not video anymore, but the digital, to watch it, you should not let that change your call.
Right.
You change the call on the court.
Right.
Not with videotape.
I agree.
Well,
I don't like that.
Here's what happens.
I know we know the rules.
Hold on. I've seen it happen in a Knicks game this year, and I went ballistic. And reports come out says since that rule has been in place, it's happened 12 times in the NBA. 12 times. So it's not uncommon. It's not
Uncommon.
It's not
Right.
uncommon. It's just that it's uncommon in the finals.
Finals.
All right. So it's been happening in the NBA
All
It's not-
season. This season.
It's throughout. Whether it was this season, last
since they've
season,
gone to replay.
Right, since they've gone to the rule.
12-13 was
now,
the first
here's what I have a problem with it. You call a charge. You're telling me that Kevin Durant initiated the contact. Okay? Now, the replay shows
LeBron
that
leading.
LeBron,
We also-
clearly, hold on, let me finish. It clearly shows that LeBron is just not set. His right foot is still moving. But from what I saw, LeBron never touched him. So to me, what bothered me about this call is that, all right, I understand because of the rules, you're able to reverse the call or say it wasn't a charge. But to me, I thought the appropriate call would have been a no call take the ball out of on the sideline because I didn't see LeBron foul him. I didn't see him foul him.
I disagree with that.
Now
I don't see him foul. I did not see him foul.
There was contact and it was
and here's my point. By rule, you can't call a charge. But you're saying that Durant initiated the contact. I didn't see LeBron initiating the contact. So because by rule, you can't call the charge, no call, take it out on the side.
I agree with, because that's fair to everyone, because you called you called the charge.
Two refs called different calls.
Right. Okay. So then they got together and they said, okay,
and that's what they would normally do.
Right. And they called it a charge, but they didn't know if LeBron was in the restricted area.
That's what caused
but he was way out of the restricted area.
But that's what caused the replay.
So okay. So once you see that he wasn't in a restricted area, but it was a blocking foul, then you say, okay, well, we can't penalize either team, so we give the ball. Yeah,
I think that
jump, but that's
not a jump ball.
It's not a jump ball.
It should take the ball out on the sideline.
On the sideline.
Instead of 2 free throws.
Right, because then it's fair.
Because that changes everything when you have 2 free throws.
Right, then you're saying, okay, we missed the call. Okay, fine. You missed call. We're human. We missed the call, but he wasn't in a restricted area. But we can't go back and say, because since we called it.
But wait a minute. But two separate refs, called different calls.
Mm-hmm. Right, but then they got together and said it was a charge. So
right,
if
you're right.
Right. So if you say, okay, man, we missed it. So if it's me and you call the block, I call the charge, and then we say, okay, it's a charge. Then we look at it on the replay. Nah, it was a block. So I can't, since we missed it on the court, the best way to remedy that is take the ball out. We give you a full 24. We give you the full 24. We don't give you the 14. We give you the full 24.
Why did you say no jump ball? I mean, I think
because we missed it and it was.
You had the ball.
Right. He would have had the ball. But I'm not giving you another possession.
Right.
I'm not giving LeBron
I don't even think
foul.
you should get 24 shots. It should just pick up from where it was.
You can do the 14. You can recycle the 14.
Personally, I didn't see LeBron initiating contact. I don't think he fouled him.
Yeah, it was just, they need to clean that up, because if you're going to be able to, you can't, if you call it, whatever you call on the court is what you call on the court. You can't retroact and say, oh.
Well, no, we're going to go to the videotape like you Warner Wolf.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Now, if in a restricted area.
How many people get that Warner Wolf reference anyway?
If you're in a restricted area, that's different because that's clear. But on a block charges are it's up to the eye. A restricted area is restricted area.
Restricted area.
Right.
He was so far out of the restricted area.
Right, exactly. So I would have said.
All right, so let's move away from that. And I want to do a remix. What do you think in these two games? Referees came under attack in the first game. We haven't had the pundits make their judgments on this game. We kind of watched the game and we were talking through the game. Did you watch the game enough to have an opinion on the refereeing in this second game?
You know what? I think that the referees is you know what? I wouldn't want to referee the finals. I'm just being honest. If I'm a ref, I don't want this assignment. I mean, it's been Hold on,
Rob. Wait a minute, Rob. I know you. You're successful because you rise to the occasion. You don't run from a big moment. So you're saying this is a big moment in the NBA Finals. Mm-hmm. You would say successful car salesman, sales manager with Gwinnett. What is it?
Gwinnett Plaisant.
Gwinnett Plaisant. Mm-hmm. You got there because you rose to the occasion. You're saying you would run from a big moment like that?
I just said I wouldn't want the assignment. And what's happening is right now, the referee is becoming a player in this series. I mean, there was some questionable non-calls today. That's going to come under fire tomorrow. They're not in a position where they can just do their job.
But the reason I brought up everything that I brought up, I find that hard to hear from you.
Yeah.
And here's why I find it hard to hear. you do your best. And you stand on your best. And even when your best is a mistake, you stand on it.
I'll give you an idea. Why I'm saying this. And you're probably right. I probably would take it.
I know you would do it.
But what happens is, I was listening to a radio, basketball radio, and they was talking about how the referee gave Draymond Green a tech early on in the first quarter of the first game. And even though that was the rightful move to do it, they felt like now the ref just gave him a pass for the rest of the game to talk as much as he wants because they won't give him another tech to throw him out. If that's true, then as a ref you can't do your job.
But see, if that's true, once again, what you said, that's the only thing I question. You would have thrown him out of the game if you saw it warranted.
My thing is
if it was warranted, you would have thrown him out of the game with his next tech.
If he gets his second tech in the second quarter, what's going to be said about that referee?
Listen, you can't worry about that. If a referee is worrying about that, they should not.
And they should not be there.
Right.
But you watch the game. Could Draymond Green been teed up several more times later on?
Then you tee him up and you deal with the consequences.
They're not doing it. I said on this show a couple of months back, I applaud the refs for throwing out Kevin Durant and LeBron James.
Yes, and I agree with you.
And they need to do that. But they should not make the finals any difference. It should not be an exception to the rule because it's the finals.
All right, I'm supposed to be the point guard here, and our producers over there doing mathematics equations over there. So I think we're running long on all of these topics. So let's wrap this up. Looking at the refs and what they did, what grade do you give the refs in the first two games? Quickly.
Right now, somewhere around a C plus, B minus. C.
Okay. All right. C plus, B minus, C. This game, I got to be honest, I can't give him a grade because I did not watch the game diligently. In the first game, I had a client, so I didn't watch the game diligently. But I saw enough stuff that I wouldn't have given them anything but a D in the first game. I can't leverage it, average it out.
D&B.
Yeah, I can't average it. So I'll go with you. What the two of you said. Kevin Durant. He left OKC to come over to Golden State. Won MVP of the finals. Is he living up to everything? Do you think it's a no-brainer that they sign him? Or do you see him possibly leaving Golden State? And is Golden State worse off if he leaves, or are they better off if he leaves? I know I said a mouthful, but Rob, what say you?
Kevin Durant from last year to this year is two different players. I think that Kevin Durant was very hungry last year. I'm not saying that he don't want to win a championship, but I've seen a bit of a drop-off in Kevin Durant. We can make the argument or the case that when Steph Curry is not playing and is out for games at a time, Kevin Durant does not lead this team as well as Curry leads this team when Kevin Durant is out.
Right.
All right? But yet, Kevin Durant, you and I both had him in October at the start of the show as the best player in the game.
Yes. And I had to retract that.
Often, he doesn't live up to it.
I mean, you say he doesn't live up to it.
Yeah.
I retract that.
Okay. And the thing is that are they better without him? No. I think they need him to continue this run because they're going to be so far over the cap that they don't have there's no way to replace him with a value.
But
now,
wait a minute. So wait a minute. If they don't re-sign him, are they still over the cap?
Yeah, they're still over the cap. So it's not like, okay, we won't re-sign him, but we can go get maybe a B-level player for $15 million a year opposed to paying him $35 million. They don't have the room to do that. all they can do is strengthen their bench with minimum wage type contracts. So they would need him from that standpoint. Do I think that he is a lot to return to Golden State? If you asked me this in October, yes.
That would have been a resounding yes.
But there's been some events, and maybe it's just
With him and Kerr?
just me stirring a drink. But I got to go back to two things that happened early in the season, and one is the Uber car ride commercial with him and LeBron and Kerry Champion, which was followed up by the All-Star selection where LeBron picked him first. I just got this weird thought that him and LeBron is going to LA at the end of the season. I got
No,
weird thought.
hold on. You like Stephen King right now. The way that you
Conspiracy.
crafted that, the way that he crafted it. At first I didn't know where he was going. Midway through, I said, okay, I think I know where he's going. At the end, you made that turn. I said, oh, he made that turn to that. I knew that's where you were going. Excellent job.
I just have this weird feeling. And you know what? It makes sense. It really makes sense because that's the only way LeBron can secure a ring is by breaking up Golden State. Because if he has to face Golden State, the way it's assembled now,
okay,
it's going to be
I
challenging.
hear you. That sounds,
But that
is
would be
good. That is good talk show fodder. Get it? Is that what you really think is going to happen?
No, I just said I have this weird feeling.
Okay.
I
right.
don't know what's going to happen.
Okay.
I think Kevin Durant's destination for next year at this point is up in the air.
What do you think?
I think it's a couple things. I think that it's not a good fit in Golden State because he likes to play iso ball, but he's not a Batman. He's more of he's Pippen, where he can be Batman, where Pippen was Batman the year and 3 quarters that Jordan was suspended / retired. But his more comfortable position is playing Robin. And that's Durant. And OKC, Westbrook was the Batman. I mean, we can say whatever it is, but Westbrook is the Batman.
The alpha, yes.
Right, he's the alpha. He's the Lone Ranger. Durant is more of a Tonto. He's not Alfred. He's not Silver. He's not Batgirl. He is a strong number 2.
He's Kato.
Right, but he
the Green Hornet and Kato.
Right,
He's Kato.
Yeah,
Because Kato was some ass.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
But he is not a number 1 because when they ISO down, Golden State beat you. That's why they come out so strong in the third quarter because they hit you. They got one hit or quitter power from 4 different people. Well, 3 different people. From Durant, from Curry,
and
from Thompson. And then a half power from Draymond Green. I give him a half power. Maybe a quarter power.
Yeah.
You're right. But when the game is close, that's what was interesting about this game here, game 2. If Cleveland would have came out strong, finished the third quarter well, and came out strong in the fourth quarter and made it a game, I've been real interested to see what Golden State would have done the last 5 minutes of the game because they are a front running team.
Well, and Durant is
the biggest front runner. He is, and they are really now. They want a chip, and this team never won a chip. They never could get over the hump, but they are a better, quote unquote, Sacramento Kings from 2000 to 2002 because they were a front runner. They were up on the Lakers 3-2, but they couldn't close out. Wait. Let me finish. They are a better. I didn't say they were the Sacramento Kings. They are a better team.
No, I was going to say is Sacramento wasn't a front runner.
They were a front runner.
No, Sacramento. They were mental midgets.
Well, okay. So this team is when you don't execute down the stretch. The one thing I can say about Cleveland, take it for whatever you want it. They can execute down the stretch. Golden State has not shown the propensity to execute down the stretch when it's a tight game. Cleveland has.
I'll give you that. Rob, what are your thoughts?
I just want to say something about Sacramento and LA, and this is going to be far-fetched. But if Sacramento and LA was to play today with the same squad, Sacramento will blow them out.
They will blow them out.
They will blow LA out. The reason why LA wins that series then is because of the shot factor. And if they play today, the way the three-point shot is being shot, LA wouldn't be able to match them.
They wouldn't have enough foot space.
They wouldn't, because the three-pointer between Pedro, Bibby, Christie would have shot it, and Weber would have stepped out,
and
Bobby Jackson would have shot.
Bobby Jackson and Turkoglu. They had six people who would have been able to step out and hit.
Oh, all right, okay. I was wondering where you were going.
I knew exactly where you were going.
Funny how the way the game is played could determine something.
I got something real quick. Doug Moe won the Chuck Daly Award for coaches, for coach, legendary coach, or what have you. He is the originator. He is the
pace.
Yeah, pace and space. What is Little Richard? Would be really the Little Richard of rock. Little Richard is the originator of rock and roll. I like that. It ain't Elvis. It ain't Elvis, y'all. It's Little Richard. But Doug Moe is the originator.
We got a Little Richard reference in NBA during the finals moment.
Not Chuck Berry. He was a Little Richard.
I was a Little Richard. Makeup and everything.
All right.
But I just wanted to say that Doug Moe was the originator of the pace and space game.
I don't know how we got here. Let's change the subject. You got Little Richard, Chuck Berry, Doug Moe. No, we ain't going to no break. We breaking you. All right, one last topic before we send you off into the cornfield. He went to Little Richard.
Hey, I like that.
All right, real quick. LeBron is going to be a free agent. So is Durant. But LeBron is going to dictate the free agency.
He makes it work.
If it makes it work.
He's
the first chip. He's got to fall. Is he going to create another super team? And if so, where is he going and what is the super team going to look like? Yeah.
All right. I say now, it's kind of out in left field. But
viewers, can I warn you? Darren, can you put this here?
A disclaimer.
A disclaimer? Ignorant ass comment right here.
No,
can you get that right? Go ahead.
He's on his own.
I say Boston because it fits
the
criteria.
How does he do it? How do they do it?
It fits the criteria what he's looking for. Young players, great coach. What they would have to do is
he wants veteran players, not young players.
But I think at this phase of he wants veteran players. He wants young veteran players at this phase of his career. Tatum and Brown, and Rozier and Smart would qualify for what he's looking for.
Young veteran.
Young veteran players. Damn. Young players who
dichotomy right there.
Young veteran players who've been in the wars, who know how to get through series, but haven't gotten over the hump yet. He's the Phil Jackson of players now. All right, so this is how this works. They trade Kyrie. Kyrie has 1 year left on his deal. 17 to 18 million.
Why is everybody trying to get rid of Kyrie on Boston?
Because you can't sign Kyrie, keep Rozier, and keep Marcus Smart. I think they want at all costs. They want to keep Marcus Smart. So if you trade Kyrie and you trade Gordon Hayward, that's 21 and 25 and 17. That creates the spot for LeBron. So then you have Horford, you have Morris, you have LeBron, you have Rozier, Smart, then you have Rozier, Tatum, and Brown. That's your seven. Your top seven right then. You fill it in.
What happens with Tatum?
I think with LeBron, Tatum, he didn't want to play with Wiggins because Wiggins was just coming into the league. I think he likes Tatum because Tatum is a vet. I think it works fine. I'm not going to say
Tatum is a vet.
a young vet. He's been through one playoff series.
He's a vet on a rookie season.
Right, a vet on a rookie season, one playoff series.
Please remove that.
Yeah, what that? What?
That's a super Bex.
super duper Bex. All right, so I would say.
All right, Tim. I'm sorry. So you have him go to Boston. We heard that, Rob.
First
I'm
of
sorry.
all,
I got.
First of all,
stop it, Tim.
In order to me, if I'm answering the question correctly, creating a super team would be very similar to what he did when he went to Miami, when he brought Bosh along with him. What he did coming back to Cleveland, forcing him to trade the Wigan pick to bring in Kevin Love. To me, that's creating a super team. So if he's going to go somewhere to create a super team, it's going to L.A. where he can bring another star with him.
Is it Durant, Paul George, or Boogie?
Something to that effect. That would
I don't see Durant, but yeah.
But Paul, I think.
Can you see him playing with?
I think Boogie.
Can you see him playing with Boogie?
I think Boogie's the right person.
Can you see
him
playing with
Boogie? I can see him playing with Boogie. Now, I want to.
Would Boogie be Boogie?
Yeah, I think.
Or would he just be like?
No, I think
Would he be Boogie?
I think he would be
snot.
But
Would he be Taste of Honey? Get down, Boogie.
hold on, Tim. Hold on. You did Taste of Honey. You did Little Richie. Yeah.
All the music.
Your radio's turned off. Now, I do want to talk about. I want to talk about the Boston thing. All right. And a sign and trade for LeBron, if Dan Gilbert was to say yes to a sign and trade, getting Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving might be one he say yes to. I think that Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward playing alongside of Kevin Love in Cleveland puts him as a top 3 team in the league.
Yes.
I don't even know if I tell you what, Boston and Cleveland would be a great finals. I mean, that would be a very interesting team. And here's the other thing. Everybody who plays with LeBron, their numbers go down. So now if you bring Hayward over there and Kyrie.
Who's your coach?
Well, probably Drew is going to be the coach there. But maybe everybody's numbers elevate once again. Because your numbers do come down when you play with LeBron. But if LeBron's going somewhere to create a super team, it's L.A. Yes, there's the rumors, maybe Philly. And if he goes to Philly, they're definitely going to be a strong team. But L.A. would be the spot.
Can you see any scenario, real quick, can you see any scenario where LeBron goes to New York? Knicks.
I have New York as the 5th spot on the list. I have it Lakers, Philly, Houston, Cleveland, New York.
Why would he go to New York? I mean, jumping out of the fire into the frying. I mean, jumping out of the frying pan into the fire, going from Gilbert to Dolan.
2 reasons. One, there's respect for Fizdale, and 2, if he really, really wants to build a legacy, and he
win
goes
the title
to,
or take them to the finals, yeah.
And he just goes to the finals.
Yeah.
If he goes to the conference final, I mean, it is. And here's the thing, it would be.
Wherever he goes, he's going to the conference finals.
Well, that's the goal.
No, he's going. Wherever he goes, he's going to the conference.
If
finals.
he takes New York to conference finals and possibly to a finals,
he becomes the king of New York, like Canton said.
Yeah, and his legacy.
I keep Eccleston.
And his legacy would soar, and if he somehow was to win a championship in New York. I mean, those who think he's the GOAT.
That would be like Willis Reed coming out on the court.
Yeah, I think if Porzingis wouldn't have gotten hurt, or if Porzingis would have gotten hurt,
right.
But if he was coming, you knew if he was coming back at the start of the season.
Or even December, Christmas.
Then you'd be like, okay, we could kind of make this work. But they talking about Porzingis might not even come back
until January, February.
Right? His schedule's January, February. But the thing is this: they're not going to play him if New York is not in contentions.
But if you have LeBron there,
and then he's playing in January, February,
and he may not be at 100%, but he doesn't need to be if he's playing with LeBron.
Yeah.
All right, so we're closing it out. We're going to go to closing comments. Tim, thank you so much, brother.
Thank you.
Monday we're going to get you back on closing comments.
Maybe one day.
One day.
One day.
All right, take your chair and get on out of here.
Deuces.
Of course, I say this every week. This is my favorite part of the show, our closing comments. I always look forward to hearing what you have to say.
Yeah.
So the floor is yours. What are your closing comments?
My closing comment, I'm going to revisit a previous closing comment, but this particular moment, it's not going to be a comment as much as it's going to be a plea to the NBA, to the commissioner. I mentioned it earlier, we touched on it, about the referees. And I surprised you when I said that I wouldn't want this assignment of the finals, because the referees is made out to be a player today. They're under the microscope, they're under the spotlight. And the truth is, they're just like you and I, a person who's liable to miss something, make a mistake. No intent, it's just the human element. But the problem that, the plea that I'm making is that I think the NFL has it right in their replay rule. I like the challenges. I don't like you can only go to replay with 2 minutes left in the game. You're telling us that the only 2 minutes of the game that's important
Or the last 2
minutes of
right.
the game. You're saying that only the last 2 minutes of the game, a call can affect the outcome. So therefore, we're going to review it. But it could be the first 2 minutes of the half, the first 2 minutes of a quarter, midway through the quarter.
And then the coach has to.
Right. So my thing is this: I love the idea that the NFL, and I think they got it right, where you're awarded 2 opportunities to review something per half, and I think that they should institute something like that. One, it doesn't slow down the game. It keeps the flow of the game, and it doesn't make any point of the game stronger or more serious than any other point in the game. And I think you have a better outcome and a better respect to the replay rule. And it's just like the last 2 minute report. I mean, I don't even want to hear that either. Because again, a missed traveling call at that time, what makes the one that they missed in the first quarter any different?
First 30 seconds, right.
So to the NBA, to the commissioner, to the panel that revisit rules, make these adjustments, consider what the NFL does when it comes down to replay. Let the coaches have challenges. It'll stop the flow of the game. It prevents the flow of the game. It'll continue the flow of the game. And I think we all, as fans, will have a better respect for the replay rule.
Good closing comments. Like I said, I always look forward to hear what you have to say, and it's always thought-provoking. My closing comments has to do with the GOAT. That's been a topic bantered about on all of these talk shows, radio shows, barbershops, everywhere else. And the GOAT comment has been coming up because LeBron has had one of the great playoff runs of any individual player in the history of NBA.
Yeah.
But I was talking to my cousin Ronald Kemp, and Ronald, a historian for me, he's I think 8 years older than me, and so he was watching the games when an Elgin Baylor was playing. He watched the games, maybe not as much as Elgin Baylor, but Oscar Robertson. He watched the games with with Will Chamberlain near the end. Of course, all of Kareem's runs throughout his career. And he has a difference in opinion on GOAT. His GOAT is not Jordan. So as we look at the GOAT has to do with what era you were watching, what your reference point is, and how you look at things. My point tonight is this. Why can't we enjoy what LeBron is doing and wait until the end of his career to determine, is he a GOAT? Is he the GOAT? Is he in the top 5? Is he in the Mount Rushmore? As opposed to doing it while he's still playing. He has at least 3-4 years left. Yeah. Even if he wins the title now, Does that automatically make him the GOAT? But there's still more for him to do or more for him to fail at? We don't know. I'm not the biggest LeBron fan, but I can tell you I'm enjoying watching what he's doing during these playoffs in 2018. So why don't we just pump the brakes and watch what LeBron is doing? Being a big Kobe fan, there are a lot of players that didn't appreciate Kobe until the tail end of his career. And they should have appreciated him throughout his career. I did a sermon one time because I am the minister. And people talk about those good old days. And my sermon was about, why don't you enjoy the good old days while you're in these days right now? These days may be the good old days. LeBron is playing good old days right now. So instead of waiting, instead of trying to determine is he the GOAT, why don't we just enjoy the good old times that LeBron is giving us right now? And then hold that GOAT talk until the end of his career. LeBron, I'm going to say this. Whether you win a title or not, thank you for what you've given us in these 2018 playoffs. I've been critical of you throughout your career. But man, you have entertained me in 2018 playoffs. And you know what? I'm not going to render my GOAT opinion until you retire. When you retire, and I can see the totality of what you've done, then and only then will I say whether you are the GOAT, because my GOAT is not Michael Jordan. So that's not the bar that I'm holding you to. Let's see what you do. And maybe you will end up being the GOAT. That's my closing comments.
Good stuff. My GOAT is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Like I said, I didn't say who my GOAT was.
Who's your GOAT?
You know, Kareem, Bill, Wilt, who's the GOAT? I mean, I can understand Kareem, and that, you know what? During the summer, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. But you know what? When we talk about it, I'm leaving LeBron out because his career is not over. I can add Kobe to it, but I'm going to leave LeBron out and let him finish out his career.
I guess to qualify for the GOAT, you have to be
because let's say it right now. If he retired right now, I don't know that I would give him the GOAT.
No, I won't.
You know, but that doesn't mean that he can't earn the GOAT. So let's see it play out.
Yeah.
You know, hey, thank you for being a part of our Deep Hoops podcast. We love the live, but you know what? We love this as well because we get to give you our full show. For Tim Brayboy, I am the minister.
And I'm Rob.
Thank you for being a part of it, where we are not experts, but we're passionate fans talking about the game we love. Thank you for being a part, and we'll talk to you next time, right here on Deep Hoops. Peace.